Who idea was it for Biggie to go to LA, my man?
Well, if you look at the art, look at when they doing Going Back to Cali. Was that Going Back to Cali or no? That was no. That when they was doing Notorious, right? And Puff calls him up. We going to Cali. He said Cali, right?
Yeah, that was Going Back to Kelly. That was the Going Back to Kelly song.
Yeah, was that Going Back to Cali something like that? Or was
Yeah,
that
that was Going Back to Kelly.
He said Cali, right? Big says that, right? In the song. Now, Big album was completed. That's why Puff was giving him the contracts. You don't get the contract and stuff like that. His album was completed. When Big was out there, he was working on Puff album. Who booked the studio for Big to do the work out there? Puff booked the studio. I can't say if it was Big's idea or Puff idea, but I don't think Big was comfortable being out there like Lil Cease said he was. Couldn't have been. Couldn't have been comfortable. Like Lil Cease trying to, and I don't want to get on this, bash Lil Cease, but you have to be able to think sometimes. Lil Cease said that Snoop was their man in the whole 9 yards. We in the studio, you understand? Big is saying, this dude is trying to get in touch with me. This dude's trying to find out where we going and what we doing. He said, I'm not calling him back on that. And I know Snoop wasn't in Miami or Florida, nothing like that, because Big said, yo, and I'm hearing the niggas in Florida. I didn't know that to be true but then he could have been in Florida back and forth 1 or 2 days or something like that. Because Mace went to a basketball game with them. You understand what I'm saying? Mace played in a basketball game with them. So now, if they out there for 2 months like Lil Cease said, and Snoop is their man, he ain't take Big out to get no chicken and waffles at Roscoe's. They didn't go to Fat Burgers together. He ain't invite him nowhere for dinner, George's or something like that. What's the auntie back in the day? What was it? Aunt Kizzy's? He didn't take him out to eat nowhere. That's my man. He in my town. They didn't meet up not one time, but they didn't talk about Big making that thing on the radio to get their Winnebago shot up. So, which is it? That's your man? You should have seen him if you was out there for 2 months. Ain't no way my boys or nobody I know gonna come to town for 2 months and I don't go see them. Or I'm in their town and I don't see them. They don't see me. Which is it?
Right, so Biggie, he wasn't feeling that then. When Snoop was calling him, asking for his location, he wasn't feeling that at all.
No, he wasn't feeling it, and he wasn't going to do it. And like I told you, Lil Cease wasn't even around. After he did that shit with Charlie Baltimore, Big put him on ice. And if you don't believe he on ice, look at the Notorious video. They got Money L in there. They got Stevie J. They got D-Rock. Where Lil Cease at? Where Lil Cease at in the whole video? Okay.
And for the people that don't know, let them know exactly what Lil Cease did with Charlie Baltimore and Biggie.
Big had told him to take the bag to his room. And that bag was a lot of pictures and stuff they had did of the escapades that they had doing on the road. When Big say the chicks from Frisco and all like that, the freaks from Frisco and all like that. It was one girl, Caucasian girls in the pictures that was sucking them off and all like that. And it was just pictures of a lot of chicks that he had been around with and been with. Yeah, he left the bag there. And Charlie Baltimore went through the bag.